Hey, what's up, Scott? Well, that's good. I just started. I actually got a question. When I stream, I don't have ads popping out on my streams, do I? I don't think it's turned on, but I wasn't sure if you guys were getting ads when I stream. Alright, good. Yeah, I was watching two streamers while I was listening to them, but ads were running through their streams like crazy. But one guy said he didn't turn them on, they were just on, so he had to turn them off. So I was just kind of curious. That would be annoying to sit there talking and then an ad comes up. Alright, maybe if somebody else comes in, they can let me know. Yeah, I was watching somebody and they were talking, and all of a sudden I'm watching a commercial, and I was like, what the hell is this crap? Hey, what's up, Customer? Customer, do you have an ad blocker on or no? My week was very unproductive. Well, it was productive, but reproductive. I had to repaint a few items, so didn't get done what I wanted to get done. Hey, Raccoon. What is it? Just can't see it, or just a pain in the ass working on small stuff? Yeah, I asked Scott earlier, guys. When I stream, I'm not getting ads popping up during the live stream, am I? Because I had it turned off, but I was watching 2 live streams this week, and ads were popping up in their streams like crazy, and people were bitching at them, and the guys didn't even know ads popped on their videos. Yeah, working on small stuff's a pain in the ass. I don't know how you're doing it. Alright, so you don't get any ads? Alright, I just want to double check, because it would be annoying to sit here and you guys are having to deal with ads while I stream. I'm just doing some marks here. I gotta go in the garage and Dremel this out. I want to get this hair attached today. Yeah, I wasn't, one stream I was watching at night, but another stream I had going on while I was working, and I'm sitting here listening to the person, and the next thing I know, there's like car commercials going on. I'm like, what's going on? I thought maybe like the stream was over, but it turned out that the guy didn't know ads were running. But I guess some streamers do it though, but I don't plan to do it. So I gotta Dremel that out. Dremel this area out a bit. And then the back. Hey Once, how's it going? Alright, I'll be right back. I gotta go into the freezing cold garage. It is cold today. So I try to plan everything for the winter for painting, because it is just too damn cold. Alright, that looks pretty good. It's a little bit messy looking, but it'll get cleaned up. So, this week, my friend showed me the Sideshow Jubilee statue. I didn't pay much attention to it, and I guess it went up for sale, so it's a $1,000 statue. Because I guess they're doing LED lights or something on it. I don't know if you guys seen it. I mean, it's not bad looking, but I'm not really into the character. But I was pretty shocked Sideshow went that price tag on it. I guess factories must be charging a lot more now. Alright, I gotta grab some magnets because I got to do the cami hair. So for the cami hair, I got the metal rods situated. So I just got to add the magnet system now. So let's grab some magnets. These should work pretty well. So each magnet goes like so. Now before, I probably should test because this is something that could cause issues. Where is she? There she is. So the back of her head is close, right? So if you put magnets where it's opposite, they might cause issues, but if you have it so they're connecting like this, when we put them in, it should hold a little bit better. See? Whereas if you try to put it on the opposite, it's like pushing away. So always make sure that if you're putting magnets in close that they're not going to fight against each other. But by them being like that, it stays in there a little bit better. Actually, the hair, did I even put these in correctly on the sides? Yeah, this is 2. So this one could go. Kind of see. So we can put that there. Sort of a little test. I don't know, we can do it this way. And maybe kind of leave them like that. Kind of looks kind of cool. Okay. But we just gotta lock them in anyway. So. Alright. So basically, once we put the eaves on, it should be a removable situation like that. So let's grab our eaves. Wait a second, this is... Pull it down a little bit more. Hey Terrell. No, I was asking everybody in chat about stuff. I think YouTube did some weird stuff this week. Like, I think now on YouTube you can, like, partner with somebody. Like, say, like me and Terrell made a video together. We can actually link both our YouTube channels to that video now. So I think they rolled out some stuff that screwed things up this week. Which is not a bad thing that YouTube finally did that, but I think it just kind of screwed some stuff up. Alright, let these cure up and then next time we can install them into the head. Oh, and also, I got in my paints. So, this paint you guys recommended to me, they got some new skin tones in. So these were like the only skin tones they had in the beginning, but they got more colors in now. So they have a peach flesh, an advanced flesh tone, and a bright shadow flesh. So I don't know, it's called Amp Colors now, and then it's, I don't know, but so far this is like this right here, this peach flesh is exactly like what the Garage Kit's flesh used to look like. And this bright shadow flesh is kind of like, it's like, let's see if we can kind of show you here. So it's kind of like, this pale pink flesh is there. This is a mix of colors. So it's kind of like, you have like the little bit of a setup now. So if you guys were looking for like Garage Kit, the basic flesh they had, this is it. This peach flesh. This is kind of like almost exactly what was there. So I'm really liking these flesh tones because it's just like the Garage Kit stuff. I just hope that, you know, I could find some better transparencies for them, but so far I'm pretty happy with these. I didn't really mess with them. I just kind of looked at the colors. So I bought about, I think, like 5 of each, but now that I got these in hand, I think when I get a chance, if I could like sell the Miss Marvel I put on eBay, I'll probably use some of those funds to get a couple more of these bottles, because I know my luck they'll cancel or just, you know, stop making them. So, but just letting you guys know I got them in, and it's really, really good color. So these are, so far, the best flesh tones on the market that I've gotten, since the Formula P3s are done. But I like them. And then I went to Hobby Town, And then the one by me, and all of a sudden they had a whole bunch of model colors, and they just got a whole bunch of these in. So I got skin tone, I got salmon rose, beige red, and then light flesh. So I'm gonna try these out a little bit too. But yeah, I was actually shocked because I didn't think they were gonna get the Vallejos in, and all of a sudden there's a whole big section of them. So I'm probably gonna have to go again on Sunday to pick up. I did a special order of a couple colors, but I figured let me grab a couple of these while I was there to test them out. But I do like them though, so got to stock up on the flesh stuff because I ran out of all colors. And I think let's see. Oh yeah, and I did get these. And so I did also get the transparencies. So I did get the transparencies. I messed a little bit with the blue and red. They're not bad. I haven't tested them on flesh tones yet. You know, like on flesh. I was working on something else. But these are not bad. They're not as good as the garage kits, but they're kind of second. So I might try a couple more of the transparencies of these. And then I did try out this copper from Vallejo. I love this copper. This copper came out so good on an item. And then they also had chrome and natural steel. So the guy told me that Vallejo is kind of changing up some formulas, so these were not bad. That's probably the signature series I got. You know what it is though, is I don't always like picking up like sets, because sometimes with those sets there's going to be like a couple bottles of color that I'm never going to use. So I like to buy the specific colors until I kind of get a feel of them. So, but I think I might buy a transparency set when I get a chance. But so far these weren't bad. And then those Kaleido paints are nice, but the only problem I don't like is the bottles are very, very, there's not a lot of paint in them. But I'll probably get some more when I get a chance. Once the springtime comes and I do like a whole spring cleaning, I go through all my paints, I'll probably know which ones I need to pick up again. Alright, so with this hair, I mean, you could glue this on with some Aves and hope it stays good, but I think I'm going to go in the garage and sort of Dremel out a line here. So this way I could kind of help lock it a little bit more, so I'll be right back with that. that should work out pretty well. Whew. Good lord, it's cold. I'm not made for cold weather. Hey, what's up, Iceman? Alright, so I went ahead and chopped it up a bit. So let's throw some Aves in here. A little bit of glue. And then we can start kind of seaming up a little bit here and there. Hey, what's up, Dana? How's it going? I'm taking one day at a time. Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, it's fine, Raz. Don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world. Your roof is a little bit more important than a hat for Cammy. Hopefully it wasn't a bad leak. Hey Raphael, how's it going? Oh wow. Is it a roof leak where you can actually fix it, or is it something that's like you gotta friggin' pull up the shingles and do some crazy crap? I know roof leaks suck. That's why I had to do my roof in 2020, just before the lockdowns got worse. Is when I did my roof. It was bad, man. I had like 11 planks of wood that were all rotted out. What happened was the lady who got my house to flip it, you know, it was around that 2010-11 era where people were buying houses and flipping them. I think what they did was they patched the roof, but they never pulled up the planks of wood. They just put like paper down and like shingles, and it was all shit. So. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, it's... That's cool. Yeah. Alright, well, hopefully it works out. Yeah, Iceman, this is the type... We're in the era of... Well, the time of year, this is my experience. Right now, we're coming out of the holidays, so a lot of people are broke. So some people want to buy stuff, they don't have the money, or they're ready to do an impulse buy, but then they realize they have bills to pay. So once we get into that tax refund month, you know, where people start getting their refunds, that's when things sort of pick up a little bit on sales. And then once you get into the spring and summer, that's when stuff really starts to pick up. Especially when, like, people are home for the summer working, like college kids. And then once you go back into the school year, that's when stuff starts to dry up again. So it's kind of, that's my experience of stuff. Damn, Dana, you got COVID? What happened? Well, actually, that's kind of what's going around. I had to go to the doctor's yesterday with my mother, and even the doctor said that do your best not to go to the hospital, because right now everyone's sick in the hospital, so... Tax cuts? Yeah, they wanna get rid of a lot of taxes so people have a breather, but there's those people in the office that don't want us to breathe. They want us taxed to all hell. So it's kind of funny too. We're sort of, I watch commercials now. They don't talk about flu season anymore. Now it's a COVID season. So now COVID has become flu. So all I see now, and even in CVS, COVID season. I don't see flu anymore. Even some of the flu, you know, like the NyQuil flu and all that stuff, it all says like COVID now. Well, that's good, Dana. Yeah, get some work done. Alright, so when I push some eaves into here, those areas should hit these areas and sort of lock it. So let's double check. Alright. Let's get a little bit more in here. Alright, where's the glue? There it is. $750? Holy crap! What kind of medication was it? Well, supposedly I had COVID when it was a thing, but it was like a year later when they started rolling out that medication. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I had crazy back pain, and I had like a little bit of a fever. So I went to the doctors. He's like, "You got COVID." So they gave me those pills, and those pills destroyed my my throat. It destroyed my whole esophagus. I had heartburn. I had more pain from the pills than I had from COVID, so I just stopped the pills. And I told the doctor, like, I'm just taking NyQuil. I'm like, I'm not taking this shit. It's destroying me. So the doctor's like, okay. He's like, maybe you're allergic to it. I go, I don't think I'm allergic to it. I think it's just really bad. You know, and I just took NyQuil and then I was fine. So I think that whatever those pills are that they give you, it's like a pack of like, what is it, like 7 or something? It destroyed me. I mean, I had such heartburn from those pills. So I decided not to take those anymore. Yeah, a lot of doctors are pull pushers, but the guy that I have though, he's a little bit younger, and he actually like listens to me, and I like him a lot. So he's always like, all right, well, he's like, you know, I mean, he was honest. He's like, COVID is really not as bad as they're making it out to be, and he was like, you know. He like, just do what you would normally do for like sick. So I took NyQuil, vitamin C, zinc, and vitamin D, and I made myself soup and I was fine. But I just feel that those pills were so rushed out, it just did damage to me. So. Hey, what's up, Joe? Yeah, when I went to the guy who fixed my arm. You know, he's like a therapist, but he's like a physical therapist guy. Even he was like, you know, do your vitamin D, your zinc, your vitamin C, drink lots of fluids. You know, do the old-fashioned thing of like making a lot of soup. You know, vegetable soups. And he's like, that'll help you out a lot. Just keep hydrated, you know. Well, that's good, Dana. Yeah, just make sure you drink a lot of fluids. Good old-fashioned homemade soup is always good. Well, we've been having shitty weather, so at least somebody's having good weather. It was COVID medication? Yeah, I don't... That stuff is... I don't trust that stuff. I don't know. I'm old-fashioned. Good old homemade soup. Lots of water. Let's face it, by the time you're sick, it's already going through your system. So there's nothing you can really do about it. That's the old saying. When you're sick, it's already going through your system and your body is pushing it out. So... Yeah, I bet it's kind of funny. I'm actually making myself soup tomorrow. I got a whole bunch of veggies and stuff, and just gonna make a chicken and vegetable soup. It's that time of the year. Yeah, Dana, so at that point, what do, you know? I think the golden rule is like that. Like I said, that guy I go to, he says, the minute you start feeling sick, you know, if you start feeling achy or you think a cold is coming on, he says right away you do the zinc, vitamin C, and vitamin D every day. He says if you really want to take care of it, get like Pedialyte. You know, I don't know if you guys, you know, the old Pedialyte used for like kids and babies. You mix that in with water and you drink down that during the day just to get your electrolytes up and everything. So he told me to always do that, and that's kind of what I do. That's pretty much what it is, Raccoon. So I just like to kind of, like when I make a vegetable soup, I put in like a whole, like 2 things of garlic, a thing of onions, and you know, because the garlic and onions are really great to get rid of that stuff. And then just lots of, you know, veggies and chicken broth. What do you mean? You gotta take pills for it, or? I know I'm going to be the conspiracy theorist nut here, and I know some people might bitch at me, but how is it that we can have a pandemic with COVID and we can find a vaccine for it, but we can't still find a vaccine for cancer? So how can we do that within a month's time, but not cure cancer? That's kind of what I still ask myself to this day. But of course we'll have some people bitch at me about it. But I'll say it. Wait, you did customize it? What? Did I forget something? Yeah, I'm sorry. You sent it to me on Instagram? This is Peach. I'm working on Peach. I probably should have the... Sorry, customizer. I've been really bad with stuff going on lately. Why is that not loaded? This is, yeah, it's kind of, sorry, I was just reading, I'm kind of gonna help customize her in a second. Yeah, it's sort of like an anime, head. It's not for this statue, it's for a different one. So, let me put this on the statue so you can sort of see. Gotta make sure it goes on pretty, yeah, it actually looks pretty good. So she does have her crown for Peach. Where is the crown? Let's see, where did I put the crown? I don't know where the crown is. It's not good. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so this is Peach's, so this is not the, yeah, this is where the crown would go, like that. Got a lot of work to do on it still. Alright, let me put up in the A's and then customize. I'm going to help you now on stream since I screwed up and didn't get back to you. So what we'll do is I'll help you out and then I'll work on Misty's hair. So let me just put the rest of the A's in here just to lock this in place. So A's went in there. Put the last of this in here. I don't think doctors care about what stuff costs because they just push the pill. They let you worry about it with your insurance. Alright, let me wash my hands. Do I have the other camera? Let's turn on the other camera. And I can show you what you can do. Alright, so let's start. Alright, so Customizer is asking how I would paint those windows. So there's a few ways we could go about it. So let's sort of help him out since I screwed up and didn't respond. My bad. Alright, let's see if I can find something to work off of. Have anything sort of something flat. Alright, I gotta have something here I can use. I can't see. Without breaking anything, let me see if I can grab this. This might work. Alright, this is not super prepared, but this could work. So let's pretend, right? So it'll be a little bit bigger than smaller, but it'll give you an idea what you could do for a window if you shrink it down. So what we'll do is we'll pretend that we'll pretend that this is a window and this is a window, even though it's a little bit, you know, thicker, but it'll give you an idea when you pop it off. So we could do a couple of things, but the idea is, you see how those pictures are? You could do it in a way where you can do it where some of the lights are on or off, but if you all want them to be like more of a brighter window, we could do it this way. Let me move Medusa. Alright, so first things first, what I would do is I would mix up a white and a blue. Just to get a base color going. Although I gotta mix up a little bit more than just a couple drops. Gonna thin it out a bit. Alright, so you got like a light blue sort of, you know, like just whatever. And then what you could do is, if you have like a pearl, or if you have like an interference blue, you can sort of grab a little bit more of your white. Thin it down, put a drop or two of your interference blue in. Not a lot of interference, just a little bit. And then a little bit of the pearl. And then mix this up a bit. Alright, so it's kind of hard to tell right now. It's a little bit wet. So we want to kind of I would kind of try to fake glass in a way. Now, it might be hard to do it with your, with it being small, but if you have the patience, or you have if you create a tool, you could grab your white, thin it down, I could grab something. Well, you might have to grab something better than what I'm going to do. I'll just get a piece of cardboard. Alright, so you have a basic blue with a little pearl behind it. Grab yourself a white, thin it down in some water or whatever, or transparency. So like I said, it's smaller window, so you might have to kind of create like a piece of, or you could do it with tape. But one thing you can do is, if you have something like this, you can sort of do like little windows like that in a way, to kind of just like pretend to be like a glassy window with the color. And if it's too blue, you could kind of highlight over it a bit, right? And then if you really want it to be a little bit reflective, you could go more with like a pearl over on top of it. So like if you really want the reflective like look, you could go with a little bit of this interference blue. Right? You could do that. But if you can't do it too good with an airbrush, we could do it with like a paintbrush. Alright, so like you could grab a, let's see. So like I said, if you can't really get in there with like some kind of tool, if you really wanted to, like you see how this is kind of reflective? I don't know, you see how it kind of reflects a bit? That might be too much, but if you wanted to, you could go in there with like, you know, like a little bit of a paintbrush on each window. You know, we'll just kind of get in there with a little bit of paint, not really go too crazy with It's kind of just faking like a little bit of lines on the window. So you could do something like that in a way. And then if you really want to take it to another level, if you really want to kind of get in there a bit. Hold on a second, I'll show you in a second. So let me blow dry this. So if you have a gray blue, something like a gray blue like this with a little bit of white, or a transparency, so you can put a drop or two in here. Grab our white. See, on a larger scale it looks a little but when you have a little tiny window and you do this, it might work a little bit better. This is like the gray blue, so very lightly you could kind of go into the edges. And then kind of go back again. Get that gray blue. So you could kind of do windows like this, you know, flatter or with pearls, and then like when you start doing like the edging, it'll kind of maybe look a little bit more like a glass, sort of. So that's kind of how you could really do it, you know. Kind of see how it kind of, it's kind of like that animated sort of fake glass light look, which would probably look good for Supergirl on there. But like I said, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass because you have all those little squares, so it'd be hard to do it with a tool. But if you want to go in there with a little bit of a paintbrush like that, after you do like a little bit of blue shading and stuff, you could kind of create the windows, and it kind of looks a little more animated for her. So that's kind of what I would do, I guess, since it's not like clear resin. Or, you know, or you see how that picture is up over there, you know, you could do like a little bit of lighter blue and then white. But then like you're trying to force it like the drawing up here. That's kind of like how it's tedious work, but if you get used to doing a paintbrush, you can kind of get in there and do lines. Like I said, I don't know how well it's looking in the camera. Maybe it looks a little bit better this way, you know. So this is kind of like just regular paint. It's still wet, but this right here is reflective as all hell because of the interference. So this is just a larger way of doing it. But I don't think you really need a lot of colors to do it. You know, just like white, blue. Get yourself like a little paintbrush like this. It doesn't need to be a good brush either. Like little mistakes and making different lines on each window would help instead of trying to make every window perfect, you know? So if one window has just like one line and then another window has a couple lines, it'll kind of make them separating. So, I don't know, that's kind of how I would do glass for that. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you sooner. I just completely, it slipped my mind. I just got so much stuff going on. But, I don't know, I mean, is that how you would like to do it? Or do you think you would want to do it a different way? The only other way I could think of doing it, I don't know how well it would look, but if you did like clouds and you make it look like a mirror, like it's kind of like mirroring a, like maybe like a park, but then I don't know how that would look like going in there if you don't have that like trees around it. That would probably be like eh. But this way, you know, you can make it look like windows without trying to, you know, go crazy. And if you really wanted to, you could have a little more fun with it too. I mean, if you have like a thinner paintbrush, I mean, if you really wanted to, like, not every window has to be perfect. You could even, you know, if you really wanted to, you could kind of go in there and maybe, crack a window or something too, you know? You know, you could even like crack a window. I don't know, so that's what I would do. So you basically, you don't need a lot. You know, you just need yourself white paint, a couple drops of blue. If you want to do reflective, you got your pearl and interference blue. I like this interference a lot. And then like a gray blue for doing just to have like the darker shades in the corners or at the bottom. So I would definitely do all the glass first, right? And then after that, do the building. Mask off the windows. So either do all your windows first, and then sit there with silly putty and mask off all the windows, or do all the windows and then hand brush the rest of the base. It all depends on what kind of texture you want to do. But that's kind of more of like the animated look. But like, I don't know how well the camera, if it's a little bit too crazy. Let's see, so if I darken the camera a bit, you kind of see. That's kind of how I would do it, in a way. Yeah, you know, anytime you guys ask me stuff off a stream, if I don't respond to you, you're more than welcome to bug me on stream and I can do stuff like this for you in real time, because it's probably easier than trying to do it through an email. Yeah, have fun with each window, you know? You don't have to sit there and make every single window perfect, you know? You could even do like in the picture where maybe some of the windows are blacked out. So we'll kind of do an instance, I guess. We'll go over here. So I guess you can also, if you wanted to, paint up your window blue, right? I have a bottle of something I mixed up. So this is kind of like my half-ass attempt to make like a Payne's Gray with this bottle. So a couple windows, if you wanted to, you could black them out. So if you have like one window that's like that, you can kind of darken one a little bit. So you can even like have a darker shade. A couple of the windows are a little bit blacked out. So just a little bit of a different shade on one or two windows too, you know. And that's it's kind of a tedious thing. You do all the windows of like a light bluish color, whitish color, and then sit there and just do lines, shade up the corners, maybe a cracker here or two, you know, and just play some music and just sit back and do every single one of those windows. Because those are a lot of windows on that base. But the other thing too is you can create a tool, you know. For instance, if you don't want to sit there and paint up those lines, if you can make like a tool, for instance, we'll kind of use this instead. So imagine you made a tool, right? Kind of. Let's cut a little bit more. So you make like a get yourself a pencil. So I mean, if you I know some guys have done this in the past. You could do it too. If you wanted to sit there and sort of create something, you can grab a little bit of glue. So you could sort of you could kind of make something to go into the window and hit it with the airbrush real quick, and then go over here and hit it with the airbrush real quick, you know? And you can sort of get your lines that way if you wanted to make like a little crappy quick tool. So basically, go over there, well, I could show you right here real quick. We'll kind of... Yeah, I won't use the white because I don't feel like pulling out the white. But if you wanted to, so if you put your little tool in the window, right, you can sort of do that with your line real quick. And then you could go there. And then you could go down to each window and do all your lines this way too. So if you want to make something, you can make something. And that didn't really take that long, you know. Just sitting there doing some tool with some glue and wood, and made a little line thing. Yeah. So it all depends on if you want to make your life easier, or if you want to paint it with a paintbrush or whatever. Don't be afraid to sit there and make something stupid where it literally... The only thing you want to be careful of is when you spray. You don't want to spray like crazy because then you create that type of look, you know? You want to just sit there and sort of a light little spray. You know, just light. Don't be afraid to kind of go just a little bit and then you create your line. But when you start getting crazy and lazy and you start spraying it, that's when you create all that mess up. So. Yeah, and then, I mean, even that looks like, you know, sort of like a window with some darker lines on it, too. So, it all depends on what gradation you want. You want lighter windows, you want darker windows, you want darker lines. Don't be afraid to, after you paint up the windows, push it, like, across the room and see how it looks across the room versus up close. It'll give you a good idea. Yeah. I would suggest guys get a lot of these, like, these, you know, popsicle sticks in different sizes, because you could do all kinds of stuff with them, and after you're done, throw it in the trash and you're good to go. So, hopefully that helps. Like I said, I apologize for not getting back to you sooner. But, like I said, it's better to come on stream and ask me in real time, so this way I could just kind of show you real quick. Because to me, sitting down with an email, explaining, taking pictures, it's a pain in the ass. I'll be honest. But streams are better. Alright, so with that being said, we're going to let this head cure up. And I think we're going to work on Misty's hair now. This has got some filling to do, making sure it goes in with the collar and all that stuff. Okay, let's move these over. Alright, I got my pictures up there on the screen from last week. So, I think the best way to start her hair... Where is the other image that I can see a little closer? So we're gonna... Alright, so I got my pictures up here. So I think the best way to start her hair, kind of mark it again. Did a little sanding today because I didn't do any garage work this week again because it was just too damn cold. So her line's going this way. Trying to think. I think it'd be easier to do her main hair first and then the pony or the pigtail on the side later. So this way I can sort of build up and then sort of afterwards kind of bring the hair in on this side. But our hair kind of pops out at the edges. Trying to think the best way to start this, because if I do her hair with the pigtail first, yeah, I think I should do the back of the hair first. Then if I'm sculpting, will I get in the way? Pulled up around here, here, here. She's got a weird hair. For an anime it works, but for real, it's a little bit different. She does have a little piece that comes over here though. What other stuff we got? So her hair. Okay, so I think we're gonna do the ponytail part first. All right. Going to use a rod to sort of work off of. I think this is too. Nah, I think this would be fine if I build onto it. All right, let's cut a chunk off. Alright, yeah, we'll build up this section first, and then we'll do the stuff on the side, because I think what it is we'll have to kind of pull hair in, and then put hair around it to sort of blend it out. So, we'll do this first. Sort of how I would do, like, Harley Quinn hair, is I would do the back with the pigtails first, and then I would build out the bangs. We don't need a hell of a lot of eaves to do this section. Star Labs? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you could probably see how they did it too. Just the sculpt, like, I don't know how big the sculpt is, but I'm trying to think, you know, I'm thinking more like classic superhero window look. That's kind of why I would do those straight lines. If it was like a clear base, then yeah, you could just kind of like paint the windows and let them sit, but I mean, that's, now that I think about it, that's if you want the base to look more daytime is what I'm doing. If you wanted to make it look more nighttime, you could do black windows with white. Some of them are on and some of them are off. And then you could paint the building darker color if you wanted a nighttime type base. But I don't think that really works for Supergirl. So yeah, Iceman, I don't care. I saw the news about her leaving Star Wars, but honestly, from what I understand, she's not leaving Star Wars. I think her contract is up. So it's not really leaving, it's just that they're not renewing her contract. But I think it's too late for Star Wars. She killed it. As far as I know, nobody cares about Star Wars or Marvel anymore. They don't care. Everybody went to Pokemon cards. And like I said last stream, everyone's moving to coins now. So I think your true fans will stick with it, but I think the majority of people could care less. Yeah, I mean, she could care less. She got her money. I mean, what does she care? Yeah, send it to me. I'll look at it real quick if you want me to. For me, unless Disney does the expanded universe, I really don't care about Star Wars. Like, I wanted to see Mara Jade, what was it, Leia and Han's twins or kids, Luke's kids. That's kind of everything I wanted to see from Star Wars, but Kennedy didn't like that stuff, so at this point, like, if they're not going to do that, I could care less. So let's get a little comfortable here. What's going on with that one? Where is the... There it is. Yeah, I like to do the hair stuff too. It's just sad that I can't do it all in one shot. It's always got to be done in sections. This hair is a little bit different to what I'm used to, so I don't know how well it'll turn out, but I'm gonna try. It's a very different type of hairstyle. I'm trying to do this where I can be a little bit comfortable and still show it, because sometimes with these hair sculpts I put my legs up and I'm kind of leaning back in the chair. But like I said, this one's a little different, so as much as I want to follow the artwork, I still got to do it my own way. That sort of makes sense. But yeah, definitely have to start with this section first, because putting a bang over here and then probably doing a couple little strands back there kind of will work a little bit better. And I'm trying to stylize it a little bit how I normally do. Try getting a little bit closer. Hold on. Trying to get a little comfortable here. Camera doesn't want to. It is. I'm working with the whole statue in hand, and it's a little bit tricky. So what I'm trying to do is create like a section and then sort of cut that section into little ones without trying to make it too perfect. That makes sense. I still kind of learn from Roberto von Burr, who did a lot of Jesse's garage kits, and I used to love how he sculpted hair. So I sort of incorporated sort of what he did a little bit to what I'm trying to do with mine. But like I said, this hair is a little bit different, a little bit differ. As it starts to harden up is when you can sort of cut it a little bit more. Still kind of super soft, but we'll get there. So hair won't always be perfectly that way, so kind of try to sort of cut it like I did here. so it kind of breaks it up a little bit more. At least with this type of hair. I don't think that one's gonna work. That one's not gonna work either. Kind of one of my shittier paintbrushes, so alright, so I'm not too worried about this section here because it sort of will get picked up with that little front piece. You got some soup? What kind? You didn't get Campbell soup, did you? Because didn't you hear about the CEO that said it was 3D printed meats in there? That was a whole big debacle a little week or two ago. You did your first hair? What do you mean on the left? Oh, okay. Well, good. Hopefully it worked out. Hey, butterfly. Yeah, that whole 3D printed soup thing was funny as shit. The funny thing is I don't really have Campbell soup because it makes me sick because I think it's all the preservatives in it. But I found it funny that that guy said that. And I noticed after he said it, like my local ShopRite, all the soup was on sale and it wasn't moving at all. So he really hurt that company there for a bit. I'm too poor to get that kind of suit, actually, so I don't know what they, Actually, soup is not that cheap anymore. You know, we've had a run of companies doing dumb shit over the past like 4 years now. And honestly, I don't know how a lot of these companies are still kicking around. Yeah, like, was it Bud Light went down, John Deere went down, what was after that? What was the other companies? Oh, that restaurant one, Crackle Barrel. That went down. A lot of video game companies went out. Yeah, I don't know what companies are thinking anymore, but it's good entertainment, I guess. I just feel bad for the workers, because they're just working. They don't know what the hell's going on. Oh yeah, Gillette. Yeah, did you hear what's going on with GameStop now? Supposedly they're going out of business. They were they were doing some shady stuff, and they were taking Pokemon cards from people and sending them in to get graded. But they were taking the cards out of cases that you give them and putting them into really bent up cases, and they would send them in to get graded to PSA, and they would come back in the worst grades ever. It's a whole big thing going on with the GameStop now, so I don't think they're gonna last much longer. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Oh, and then PSA, I don't know if you know what's going on with PSA, graded cards with sports cards and Pokemon cards. There's a whole big thing going on with that company now. If you send in a Pokemon card, like say 5 of the same Pokemon card, and 3 of them are 10s and 2 of them are 9s, they'll offer you a buyback price, and they'll buy the 9s off you for $30, but the 10s are worth like say $300. What they'll do is they'll take those exact numbers, they'll crack open the case, give them 10s, and then a PSA would sell them at 10s. So that's a whole big thing going on with that now. So like, it's like every year companies are just doing the dumbest crap ever. It'd be funny if Campbell soup was actually really not chicken. If it was some like other weird crap that they were putting in there. You know, it's kind of funny we're talking about this. Have you guys ever recently bought bumblebee tuna? I used to get bumblebee tuna for years. In water, you know. And I used to be able to open up the can and the tuna was always soft and mushy. The past 6 months, every time I bought bumblebee tuna fish, it's rubbery. It's like rubber. It's not like, it doesn't break apart like it used to. And I always thought maybe, okay, that was a bad batch. So I stopped buying bumblebee tuna. I bought this other brand. It's a little bit more expensive, and it breaks apart like the bumblebee tuna used to. So I'm wondering if there is something going on with the tuna fish. You know, maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe it's like farm raised and it's not wild caught, or maybe it's like all the fish eating plastic in the ocean. I don't know. But lately I stopped buying bumblebee tuna because it's just so, it's like rubber. It's weird. Napoleon Dynamite, you're right, actually. It does look like that girl's hair. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, I said instead of buying the bumblebee tuna for like like 10 for like, you know, 10 cans for like $10 on sale. I don't know. Maybe I did get the, well, if I got the dolphin can, I was getting dolphin cans every friggin' week or every month for like 6 months. So I didn't buy the Star-Kissed. I bought some other brand, and it tasted fine. It tasted better than the bumblebee tuna, so I said, alright, I won't eat as much tuna, but I'll get the better brand, you know? I don't know, it just was weird. Like, I've used to get bumblebee tuna all my life, and I never had a problem with it until recently. So, there's something going on. Maybe they're catching, like, tuna fish with like 5 eyes or something, who knows. John West, never heard of it. I used to like to make tuna melts. I gotta get myself one of those ovens again. My little oven thing on my counter burnt out at me, but I love tuna melts, you know? Just grab some bread, put some tuna on there with a tomato and cheese, but the tuna just sucks. I don't know. Or maybe they're experimenting with me in my area. Giving us the 3D printed tuna to see if we notice. Well, I noticed, damn it. It's printed. I know it is. Yeah, my little toaster, little portable toaster oven thing blew on me, so I haven't gotten a new one. So I haven't had a tuna melt in a while. Hey, JC. So I gotta get another one. And I'm tired of eating all this 3D printed meats. I don't buy I don't buy meat from ShopRite anymore. I go to my butcher because that meat in ShopRite has been really funky too lately. So I decided not to even buy chicken from ShopRite anymore. I don't know. I think it's just the stuff is just not fresh. So screw it. I don't like to use the microwave too much because microwave kills all the things you're eating. So I don't really like to use the microwave. I only use it once in a while. So I don't really use my microwave as much as I used to when I was younger. Later, Raz, take it easy. But I just want to get another toaster oven when I get a chance, so I could do the tuna melts easier. I hate trying to put on the oven just to do tuna melts. Yeah, supposedly a lot of people, they've been doing a lot of like really crazy research with microwaves, and it kills like all the nutrients every time you use it. So, like I said, I'm not really, like I don't buy microwave meals or any of that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, there was a time for a while when I was sick of tuna as well, and I was like, all right, I'm eating too much, but your cats won't eat bumblebee tuna, then alright, then there's something going on. If cats are not eating it, then they know. I love codfish. I love codfish, especially lemon pepper codfish. It's just that lately the codfish has been really, really expensive. So I try to catch it when it's on sale. Although when I say catch it on sale, if I go in the shop right and it's on sale, I snag it. If it's not on sale, I don't like check the ads or anything. I just kind of walk in and get whatever I get that week. Hack, H-A-K-E, I don't know what that is. I don't know, I like the Alaskan codfish that I get. I just love codfish, I don't know why. It's just, I guess it's because it's meatier. With hake? I'll look into it. I mean, I live by the water, so we got fish guys everywhere. I don't really like go crazy with like fish or like baked fish or you know like any of that stuff. I just like codfish with lemon pepper, and what I do is I cook it in with some chicken broth, and then I just pour the broken up codfish all over white rice, and I mix it together. So it's like a lemon pepper codfish with chicken broth, and I just like that a lot. It's almost like it's kind of almost like a ramen, but I just like the codfish all broken up. I've had haddock too a lot, but I just like the codfish though. I think what it is like the good thing about codfish is it's not that expensive, so you get a big chunk of it for like $7.99. But sometimes like it's not. It's usually like maybe, and it used to be like $12.99 a pound, but then you know with everything rising in price, it was like $17 a pound. So I stopped buying it. But we're slowly going back to that $7.99 a pound. So whenever I go in there and I see it at $7.99, I'll get like a big chunk of codfish, like you know really big. So I try to usually do it on weekends more though. During the week, it's kind of just cook something fast and get back to work. But on weekends, it's kind of like the good days, you know, to kind of have something nice. I remember one year I went to ShopRite and they had lobster tails. They were literally like maybe this big, right? And they were only like $3 a piece because I guess they were getting rid of them after the holidays. So I bought a bunch of them and I threw them on the grill, and I had a whole bunch of lobster tails on the grill. It was awesome. But sadly, they don't have that. Well, if you get they have these things for a grill where you could put like this, it's like a really thin piece of like metal stripping thing you could put on top of your grill, and you could cook fish like that way. But I've tried it, but it gets too funky and you have to throw it away. Yeah, that's the bad thing with lobster is it's very expensive. But if you could catch the lobster like after like the holidays when it's on sale and they're trying to get rid of it, it's really good to pick up a couple. I just got lucky that year. I went in the ShopRite and the guy literally just put a bunch of the lobster tails on the thing, and he's like, "Oh, they're $3 a piece," and I was like, "All right, how many can I get?" And he's like, "Well, we're only limiting like 6 or something." So I was like, "Yep, I'll take 6 of those suckers." For $3, they were pretty. They were a pretty good chunk. That was a good summer that year, but I haven't seen anything like that in a while. Yeah, but like I said, the tail wasn't that big. I would say the tail was probably about, I would say the tail, they weren't big tails, but the tail was probably about this big. You know, like about this big. Normally a tail like that would probably be $12.99, but for $3 a piece, it was like, it was a deal. Well, I'm not really like a crab guy. I'm not a lobster guy. I'm more of like king crab legs. King crab legs I could eat all day long. Like if you give me king crab legs, I would eat those all the time. With some Old Bay on there, steamed. Oh, I love those. Yeah, if I had a choice between lobster and king crab legs, it'd be king crab legs all day long. Yeah, sadly though, even though I'm by the ocean, its stuff is not cheap. It's actually a lot more expensive over here, especially the seafood places. So I don't really go out to eat to those really anymore since like recently, because if you get like just something by yourself, it's like you're winding up paying like $60. So it's not really worth it. But there is this one seafood place. It's called Mud City, which is perfect name for it. They have these garlic, garlic mussel buckets, and oh my god, the things are so, like literally the garlic mussel buckets are so addictive that you want to just take the bucket and drink the garlic sauce afterwards. That's how good it is. Not a big oyster fan. I do like clams, but oysters and mussels are okay. But they got to be in garlic sauce. I'm not a fan of like raw stuff. Yeah, I got a friend who loves those. We went out a couple times and he loved getting those. I'm like, I've had them before, but it's just not my thing. Like, I'm not into sushi either or any of that. But all I've been making recently is just like tacos. Just get some taco seasoning and just get some ground beef and make tacos during the week. A little bit of lettuce and cheese and something simple. Well, because it's the winter, I don't feel like grilling in like 25-degree weather. But once it gets warmer, I'll be grilling again. Chicken and rice, hamburgers, stuff like that. That's a good thing about working at home. I go outside and grill real quick and then get back to work. I'm sure my neighbors are like, does this guy work at all? All he does is sit inside all day long and grill. They probably think I'm like either super wealthy or I'm living off the government. They don't know as I'm painting and sculpting all damn day long. You've never had seafood? Like, you've never tried it? You never experimented? Like, are you human at all? Like, do you live in, like, a bubble? Like, what's going on there? You gotta try it at least once. I'll have to say, is this a ginger thing? Is this something that we don't know about the gingers? Or what is it, the ginjas? Gotta have tried fish at least once. Something. Like, take for instance my father. He loves fishing, but he doesn't like to eat fish. But he's tried it. Let's see something. I think we're getting too much of a... There we go. It's a little bit better. Alright, take it easy, butterfly. Sorry, I had too much of a camera issue there. Realize that. If my camera's ever screwed up, don't be afraid to tell me, guys. I wasn't paying attention much. So if there's like bad reflections and stuff, say something. So I can figure out if I'm screwing something up or I need to correct something. Work out this part here. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's looking pretty decent. What did I do with that rod? Here it is. So, I could either put the rod in now or do it at the end, which I'm probably going to do it at the end. Let's make sure there's enough of a spot to get it in. So we let this dry up, right? And then what we'll do is we start working out at these areas. But what I think I should do is sort of maybe work out the point here and a point here and here. And then when I do the stuff over it, I don't have to worry about it. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do next. So I think the idea is this is getting harder. It's kind of behind her ear, I think. Right, it's kind of... So let's try this. There was a spot behind her ear. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put a point and then work on it after the point, because it's gonna just move all over the place if I try and sculpt it now. So maybe what we'll do is we'll kind of... It's not really behind the ear, is it? It's kind of more up above. I mean, I'll do it my way, but I'm figure be a good starting point, and then I can sculpt onto it. Yeah, kind of like right there. What I think I need to do is bring it away from the ear a bit. This way I can sculpt. kind of do it my way a little bit, but sort of have fun with it. So that could be a good starting point, and then I can kind of build off of that and build on top of it. Still have something kind of pointing out. I know I sort of sculpted with silly putty, but that all kind of fell. So maybe what we can do also is sort of another sort of pointy one. Kind of work off of this as well. I mean, she is in the Savage Land, so it could be a little messy. Doesn't have to be, nah, that's too far down. Yeah, I think we'll just work off of this one for right now. Take this bit a little bit more. It's probably too long, so I'm gonna have to cut it down when I put it into the head. But for right now, let's sort of create a starting point. Since we got a little A's left, we'll kind of start the hair piece. So basically, we'll kind of create the main point here. And then from there, we'll kind of start creating stuff on top of that. So we'll kind of just sort of get this sort of coming down. This way we don't waste this eaves. So this will be the starting point, and you figure about about here, right, is where we'll start kind of building outwards. The reason why I'm putting eaves around the bars, because this way everything will kind of not turn, and I can sort of kind of grind it down if I need to. So this is sort of the start. So then what I can do next week is sort of build outwards. So basically start building, like, you know, a little bit of a fix this here and then build a little point there and then kind of build there, and then we could kind of glue it in at the end. That's kind of where I'm thinking of doing. The big mussel buckets, did they have like the garlic sauce in there? Because down here they give you this really good bread with it, so you could dip it in the garlic sauce afterwards. And the bucket, like at the bottom of the bucket, is like this much garlic sauce, and the bucket's like, you know, so you just, and a lot of people usually ask to take the garlic mussel sauce like home, and they put it in the to-go container. So yeah, that'll be a good starting point. Maybe what I can do though. Let me wash my hands real quick. Oh, I would be there all the time, I know that much. Yeah, I think this summer I'm going to make it a point to go down to that Mud City place and get some, even if I go down by myself on a weekday. Maybe I'll go do it for my birthday this year. Haven't been there, I think, in 3 years. Yeah, I think about 3 years now. I'm the type of person like, oh man, I'm gonna go there, get some nice seafood this weekend, and then like the weekend comes, like, screw it, you know, I'm just like, I'll save my money for some statues or some paint or something, you know, and I just decide not to do it. I'll have to do it this year. Yeah, this is not going to do what I want it to do, but let's see. I'm just gonna have to build onto it. I'm gonna have to kind of grind this down a bit. And it's too soft to do it, plus, so I'll let this harden up, and then what I might do is sort of sand it down a bit. And then I could go in and kind of detail it up, and then I can start building up around it, and we could kind of get that, like, that little ponytail look to her, and then sort of just kind of plop it in and glue it in at the end. What I might need to do is, I probably should have done it too, is I'm going to have to take the bottom of this, this rod, and sort of kind of bend it up a bit, and kind of give it a little hook, so this when we glue it in, it won't turn. I just realized that too, shit. You know what? I better just do it now. We can pop this off. Because I just realized that if I glue this in, it will turn. So basically, what you need to do is whenever you want to glue in a rod like this, it's good to kind of take the rod and sort of bend it. Like so. I completely forgot. And then this way, when you put it in, it won't turn. So that'll help stop it from turning. That little notch. So, I just realized. So, not the end of the world. We can do this again real quick. There we go. That looks a little bit better starting point. That will work. So what we'll do is we'll put this up over here. So that's a good start to the hair. I like the way it looks. It looks a little bit tight, which is good. It's not as it's got a little bit of cutting style to it, as you can see. So this is a good starting point for this piece. So what I could do next week is sort of do the back a little bit, and then sort of start working on the front, and then start building up over it and kind of getting that flow of the messiness up over there. And then what I'll probably do is put like a couple random strands back here that kind of make it look a little messy back there. And then when basically work on the other piece, and then pretty much at the end kind of just glue that in, and then build a wrap around it, and then that should lock the hair in pretty well. What I'll do is, since there's like a little strand back there behind her, get like a little strand, so I could put a couple little random strands back here to make it look messy too. And that'll kind of play into the Savage Land look a little bit. I think that'll look good once it's done. Like, especially once we get this area over here, it should come together. But she's turning out pretty decent so far. As far as Peach goes and Cammy, for Cammy, I need a garage day. I really got to do a garage day. I got to stop being lazy. Well, I got to get my other projects done too, and I can sort of sand her down and start working on other stuff. But as far as Peach goes, crap, no, that shit. Hold on, I'm gonna screw something up here. Alright, so this hair needs to cure up, but her neck goes in pretty well. So I gotta work out the hair and then make sure I can sort of glue in the earrings. We also have to glue back her bangs that broke off here, which I have around here somewhere. I don't know where they are, around there somewhere. Yeah, so I just gotta clean up the hair back there, get this to the point where I gotta make sure it doesn't lock it in place, because I gotta be careful with putting A's back here and then it kind of getting underneath the collar and I can't lock it out. So I don't want to do it now because I still want this A's to cure, because if I try to pop this in and out I might snap it, and then even though I glued it, I want that A's to really lock it in place. But she is looking pretty good with the hair on now. I might have to sand a little bit over there. I don't think much, but a little bit. Yeah, I think once that's done, when Raz has a chance to send out the stuff to me, we can start adding the buckle pieces, clean her up, and then I gotta think, just start adding little details and get the chair situated. I talked to my friend who can print this stuff out that's by me. He says whenever I'm ready just to go by him. I want to bring him the statue with me so we can measure out the chair and see how big he can make it. And then should be able to have a nice cool looking chair. I'm going to have to bring the base that's going to go to her too. And then we could kind of measure out the chair and see what he can do. But it should look pretty good. She's looking pretty badass now. Especially once we get the crown on. I think I'll have to set this up too at the end where I can just kind of glue the crown on. I'm going to have to recut the hair though a little bit. It's not lining up correctly. I think they had it at a not all the way centered on her. Oh wait, it is sort of, yeah, you have to kind of turn it. Alright, we'll fix that. We'll get that fixed. Okay. Alright, I think that's where I'm going to cut the stream for today. I'll try to get some more stuff done for next week. Let's see, how's things going? So I got to finish up the 2 paint-ups, Medusa and Starfire. And if I can finish them up, I got to go back to customizing and pulling out more kits. But other than that, that's kind of where I'm at. Alright, I'm tapped. My arm is killing me too. So you guys have a good rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next week.